Hi, it's Deirdre Sartorelli from the Angle Center for Entrepreneurship. So, my fellow entrepreneurs, you told me that you loved risk and excitement and uncertainty. We have that and then some, don't we, right now? And so you might be thinking, boy, this is really tough sledding for startups. The truth of the matter is, it's tough sledding whether you're a startup, whether you're a 100-year-old company or a multi-generational family organization. It's tough right now. But I did want to take the next few minutes and talk about 3 observations that I've had as I have spoken over the past 4 or 6 weeks to entrepreneurs, whether they're student entrepreneurs at Endicott College or entrepreneurs in the greater community. And it's kind of clear, at least if I were a betting person, there's some startups that I'd be putting a wager on versus others. And so what's the first obvious difference? The first obvious difference for me is startups who have been always expressly focused in one of 2 areas on behalf of their clients: increasing the client's revenue, sales, or decreasing the client's costs, making them more efficient. The startups who have been really tightly aligned in one of those 2 areas, I think are going to come out of this okay. The startups that are somewhere in the middle, where it's always been a little bit nebulous, it wasn't really crisp, they're going to struggle. And I think you're going to see a lot of them fail. And it's true just in general in life. The closer you are aligned to revenue or making your organization more efficient, you're probably going to thrive as well. And that leads me to the second point I wanted to talk about, which is your value story. And I don't want to confuse value story with value proposition. So a value proposition is sort of your unique fingerprint around your startup business. You want to get really precise around that value proposition. And so, as I mentioned, the startups I think might fail probably have never really been really tight on their value proposition. But the value proposition leads to your value story. And think of the value story as an opportunity to talk to a client about what their life might be like before using your product or service. And then when they use your product or service, you kind of create an explosion of goodness for them, and then you bring them to a new normal. That's the definition of a value story. And so we've all got a lot of time right now as we sit at home. Rework your value proposition and get maybe a 30-second value story and then maybe a 60-second value story. So you've got a couple of different flavors of your value story. The third thing I want to talk to you about is, because these are crazy times, you have got to find your tribe if you already haven't. What do I mean by tribe? It's finding the men and women who know exactly what it's like to be an entrepreneur, what it's like to get yourself out of bed every day, call a potential client, create a pitch deck, and sometimes make an ask and you get a no. Right? Someone that has done that, you need people like that in your lives because they get you. They'll pump you up with sunshine when it's the right thing to do, but they're also going to give you honesty when it's the right thing to do as well too. And so that's why tribe is so important. That's why I'm so proud of the tribe that we have at Endicott College. You know, I like to say that we have democratic entrepreneurship at our school. And by that I mean we've got students who have a really clever twist on an old school idea, and we've got students who are working on really advanced technologies, and there's everything in between. But I've always found our tribe to be really tight. And I have had people reach out to me since I've been quarantined at home, and I've been sure to reach out to my student entrepreneurs and people in the greater community. So find your tribe, and if you can be a member of someone else's tribe as well too. We're open at the Angle Center for Business 24/7, and we'll be open through the summer as well. So if you'd like to get together with a virtual cup of coffee with me, just drop me a note at ecfuel, That's ECFUEL at endicott.edu. And I'll look forward to that virtual coffee. I might even buy you a virtual cup of coffee. How's that? Thanks.